Game at the MCG.
In the studio this morning, the former racing editor of the Daily Telegraph, now the PR and media man for the Sydney Swans, Stephen Brazel. Steve, welcome to the studio.
Yeah,
and you must be celebrating still after that magnificent victory last week by the Swans over Brisbane.
Yeah, everything's going fantastic at the moment. The club's really on a high. We're winning games that a lot of people haven't been expecting us to win, and last week was sensational out there. It really was, you know, to get a big crowd behind us, and as I say, the way things are progressing, if we can keep going and make the semi-finals, you know, it really is fantastic for Sydney.
Well, up there, one of the Bears supporters is Wayne Wilson. Wayne, they got a bit of a touch-up last week.
Yes, they did, but don't worry, we'll get square.
Wayne, yesterday the disappointment, of course, in the Oaks was Sallyist. But we did see a wonderful photo finish and a tremendous finish to that race.
Well, it was certainly a great finish to the race. Sallyist was disappointing, and I think Pat Hyland is now of the opinion that she's not a genuine 2400-metre horse. That's despite the fact that she won the VRC Oaks. There she is sprinting to the lead. She dashed at this stage, and then she just ran out of gas after this. You can see Arctic Scent, and it was a beautiful ride by Larry Cassidy. He's coming through in the middle, and that's our little filly Sonata on the outside, and Aphasia 4 wide. Now, have a look at this. This is a bit of a finish. It's Arctic Scent on the inside, Sonata the middle, Aphasia the outside. Cassidy just pushed the Melbourne filly over the line, and she was able to ring up #1. And atoned for that defeat by Sallyist in the VRC Oaks. I think she's raced in 5 Oaks, that filly, and she's finally broken through for a Group 1 win here in Queensland. Nice ride by Larry Cassidy, and of course celebrating the contract that he secured to ride in Hong Kong next season.
Well, the little filly Sonata showed plenty of heart as well.
Wasn't it a great performance by her? She's only a little pit pony, really, Sonata, but she showed tremendous courage over the final stages of the race. I thought at the 200 metres she might be able to win it, but Arctic Scent, the other filly, was just a little too strong for her in the run of the line. But a lot of credit in the performance, a lot of courage in the performance by Sonata.
Sallyist, Steve, do you think a victim of a long and tough campaign leading up to this race?
Yeah, certainly, David. I think one thing we have got to realise is that the quality of the fillies is down at the moment. The colts have just got so much on them. You have a look, Octagonal, Saintly, nothing like a Dane. I mean, they're just miles in front of what the fillies aren't. So I really can't see any of those fillies measuring up when it comes springtime.
Okay, great day for the New Zealanders yesterday, Wayne, and the O'Shea Stakes, the weight for age over 2400 metres, the Phantom Chance.
David, we've got to give it to John Wheeler, haven't we? He won this race with Rough Habit, brought him back from, well, disappointing form last year, and he's done the same thing with the Phantom Chance this year. There's the Phantom Chance running about 5th as they head down the straight, and he finishes very strongly on the outside. Electronic and Darbass both disappointing. Darbass was involved in an incident on the turn out of the straight. He hit the fence, and Di said he didn't stretch out after that. French Resort's run was good. That's Dew Pain and the white colours on the inside just in front. The Phantom Chance and French Resort grab him right on the line, and the Phantom Chance was able to get the prize there. And the 3 place getters now headed for the Brisbane Cup. The Phantom Chance, French Resort, she's my pick in the Brisbane Cup, and also Dew Pain, and both French Resort and Dew Pain dropped dramatically weight-wise for the Brisbane Cup.
Gay wouldn't have been too happy about the performance of her two in that one.
Yeah, certainly. I suppose there was a lack of weight for age horses in that. You have a look at it, I suppose, apart from Electronic, the Phantom Chance was probably the only other horse in there that had weight for age form going into the race, and it had been a long time since the Phantom Chance won a race. So I don't know about the depth of form there. I suppose what you've got to look at the horses who ran 2nd and 3rd from Brisbane Cup points of view. Electronic, I'd have to think that she's had enough now. She's had a pretty arduous campaign in Sydney, and she's gone on to Brisbane. I'd have to think that she'd be nearly headed for the Spelling Paddy.
Well, Wayne, while you know, Gay wouldn't be too happy about her 2 charges of that, in the size produce, what a moment for John Hawkes. Darren Beedman. Darren's starting to make a bit of an art form of Group 1 races, as is John Hawkes.
Yes, that's right. It was Darren's 10th Group 1 for the season. This is an outstanding young horse. The way he puts in over the final stages. Now, he's got the black and the white cap on. There he is, second last with 250 metres to go. Now, watch him extend in the straight here. Look at him flatten out and come out after these leaders. There's his stablemate Flavour and the Cerise going to the lead. Regal Centre just inside of him. But look at the claim that this fellow's launching on the outside, Anthems. He's an outstanding horse. They were talking about Cox Plates after his win in the Sires yesterday. John Hawkes said, let's get over the Castlemaine first of all, and then we'll talk about the Cox Plate. But that might not be pie in the sky Cox Plate material, Anthems.
Okay, and John Hawkes said the 2nd toughest horse in the stable, Flavour, behind Octagonal. It's a big rap, isn't it?
Yeah, I thought Flavour's run was very, very good yesterday, but the winner's just outstanding. I think that once he gets up to a bit more ground, you wait till you see him in the springtime when he gets up to 1.25 miles and a mile and a half. You know, really, he is an outstanding prospect. I thought yesterday the 1400 metres that Flavour was going to have its chance, but he just blew him away in the last bit. And how are they going to beat him in the Castlemaine? He'll win it easily.
Steve, while John Hawkes would have been smiling at Eagle Farm yesterday, Bart Cummings, off operations on both knees, had plenty to smile about yesterday. A typical preparation for Bart Cummings to see Ry Lopez, who really is shaping now as one of the great stayers of the next carnival down south.
Yeah, Ry Lopez, certainly the horse to follow out of the race meeting yesterday at Rose Hill. Dado Tan Chin Nam's going to have a little bit of fun, I think, when it comes to the springtime. He's got Saintly, who's obviously going to be measuring up for the Cox Plate in those races, and here he is with Ry Lopez, who just gets a little bit of a bump there and he goes back towards the inside. But the way he really flattens out when he gets through the run here, I thought was outstanding. And if you have a look behind, the horse in the green colours with the quartered cap, LTD, I thought his run was quite good too. He got held up between horses, didn't quite match the acceleration of the winner, but he's certainly worth following. Ry Lopez, he'll be heading out to the paddock now, and as I say, follow him for the springtime. But LTD, he might pick up a race pretty soon. Well,
already qualified now for the Melbourne Cup, Wayne, Ry Lopez, but a typical touch of Cummings there.
Yes, and he looked good, didn't he, the way that he went to the line over the final stages. It was a dramatic step up in distance for him. We thought we might see him here in Brisbane for some of our classic races during the winter, but Bart's obviously got those cups in mind in the spring, and now that he's hit form, look out for him come Melbourne Cup time.
OK, Stradbroke Day next week. We will delve into the Little Black Book specials of Wayne Wilson. Wayne, what have you got for us?
Well, I've come up with 3 for our major races next week. Anthems to win the Castlemaine, and there's a lot of talk about what penalty he's going to get. The handicapper's got to think about that. He's eligible for a penalty out of the size yesterday. I don't think he can be too harsh on him, because he's already weighted it up to his very best in the Castlemaine. French Resort, I thought it was an outstanding trial for the Brisbane Cup, and I think we'll be all yelling for Hariba come $1 million Stradbroke Day at Eagle Farm next Saturday.
Well, Stephen, your picks include Brimstone, who was very disappointing yesterday, as Go to the Post won that fourth at Rose Hill yesterday. Yeah,
Brimstone, he was trapped off the track all the way, and certainly if he gets into a welter, he's going to get in with a limit weight, and I thought that the run wasn't that bad. He only ran out of puff in the last 50 metres, and he covered more ground than Burke and Will, so certainly I think Brimstone, you stick with him, he'll win a race soon. Ry Lopez, obviously you're not going to pick up any money soon, but he's going to be going out to the paddock. He'll come back in the spring and he'll win a good race. And LTD, I think he might pick up one of the cup races.